Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm your host, Steven Lucero, and as promised, we're going to talk about the NBA now. The NBA season is coming to a close pretty quickly. I think we've all been really focused with March, but the NBA has quietly been very exciting over the last couple weeks, with the awards races really coming down to the wire. Joining me to talk about it, Beth Spicer and Christian Bersuch. Guys, looking at the NBA, especially over the last couple weeks, we've seen some intense matchups. We've seen some incredible games from players, teams, just about everything you can ask for. But I want to talk first about the Mavericks. You know, unfortunately, every time I mention the Mavericks, I'm kind of like, but I want to specifically pledge allegiance to the flag, and that being Cooper Flag. Because, guys, he has been incredible over the last couple games. 96 points in the last 2 games combined. Beth, what have you seen from Cooper?
I mean, what have you not seen from Cooper Flag? I think is the better question to be asked here. Cooper Flag is just an amazing of an athlete. I mean, you know, we've all gone through it since we've traded Luka to the Lakers. What a time it's been. Cooper Flag has filled that hole in our hearts, maybe a little bit, not all the way, but he's so amazing. I mean, he's 4 40-point games this season. That's ridiculous. I mean, how does Cooper Flag do what he does? He also has the record for the youngest to have a 50-point game. Again, 1 season, does it all. I think what we haven't seen from Cooper Flag, I think, is the better question.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that you could argue we haven't seen from Cooper Flag, 2 things, honestly. The 3-point shooting, which, I mean, if you can do what he can do, it's not that big of a deal that you can't shoot threes, right? I mean, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, 2 of the greatest players of all time, for huge fractions of both of their careers, they were below average shooters. So, I mean, not the end of the world. But I will say, consistency. It's the rookie of the year, not the rookie of March and April. And for the big chunk of the year, Cooper Flag, people were talking about him like he was disappointing. He was shooting 42% from the field up until the month of March started. Since then, he's shooting like 53%, by the way. So, no, again, like it's hard to knock him for it. But when we're looking at this award race, Con Kneppel, I mean, 20 points per game almost. He has elevated his team. They won. The Hornets are a team that won 19 games last year. They're going to be a playoff team. Hopefully they can avoid the play-in, but that's the conversation for a different day. And the Mavs, again, not a knock on Cooper Flag. We can't blame the Mavs for having a better record than last year, knowing what happened. But they're definitely not a better team than last year. And Con Kneppel is the difference maker for the Hornets. That's the same roster with what? Nurkic is their addition besides Con Kneppel. I think that, I don't know. I think those are some things we have to consider when we're talking about Rookie of the Year, is the difference that Con Kneppel made on his team.
I mean, yes, Cooper Flag has dropped. I mean, he's not always been the most consistent the entire season, but yes, it is our Rookie of the Season. But I mean, what else can you say about Cooper Flag? He kind of does have one of the worst teams handed in his lap, and he's just kind of dealing with it in my defense. I mean, Kneppel's point, he does have the most three-pointers for an NBA rookie, so what Cooper Flag doesn't have, he does have, I will say. But he has the better team. I mean, you can't rely on Cooper Flag the way you can rely on Paige Beckers with the Wings to have an awful team and come back every single time. I mean, she did win Rookie of the Year, so I'm saying, here we go, Cooper Flag, you have to keep it up for Dallas.
Yeah, it's a good comparison right there. We saw some of the highlights of that Mavs-Lakers game, and I'd like to put the end of those if we can, because this was a game that was tight throughout, and Cooper Flag just once again stepping up and making it happen. I mean, you look at Lakers-Mavericks, and I think, you know, especially in Dallas, I think everyone is expecting this game to be the Luka Doncic show. But unfortunately for Luka and the Lakers, he suffered that hamstring injury. He was out along with Austin Reeves. Both of them will miss the remainder of the regular season. But
probably ends the Lakers' playoff chances right there, too.
That's an interesting point. But for Cooper Flag and the Mavericks, finding a way, you know, the Mavs aren't going to be in that playoff conversation. But Cooper Flag, I think, is definitely in the Rookie of the Year conversation. However, Con Kneppel and the Hornets are in that playoff conversation. I think it's interesting to kind of look at the player versus the team and where that stands. So, Christian, do you have Con Kneppel or Cooper Flag as Rookie of the Year?
I think that if it ended today, I think I might have to give it to Cooper Flag. But the truth is that there's still a week left to play. And if Con Kneppel can keep up what he's doing, average 20 points per game, and make those clutch shots, because that's really what he's been. We talked about the difference maker. The Hornets, last year, yes, they were a bad team, but it was never about the roster being bad. This has always been a team where we're like, oh, eventually they're going to figure it out. They're just a piece away. And Con Kneppel is that missing piece But now we have to see if he's a leader, if he's the clutch factor. Like Beth mentioned, what Cooper Flagg does, Con Kneppel, or doesn't do, Con Kneppel does, and vice versa. Now it's time for one of them to make themselves really like the difference maker for their team. Cooper Flagg's already shown the ability to do that. If Con Kneppel can lift his team out of the play-in, and I mean, obviously, I know playoffs don't really affect these awards, but I think solidify himself as getting them there to the playoffs, then I think there will be an argument. And the story, either way, no matter who wins it, it's an awesome story that these teammates are going at each other for the Rookie of the Year, like former Duke teammates. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Cooper Flagg, I think I'll agree with you. For now, I think I got to give it to him just because of his all-around play. But I want to give a huge shout-out to Con Kneppel because his shooting has just been incredible.
It's amazing.
I mean, truly, he broke the record for most three-pointers by a rookie player. And I just think that he has a long and very fruitful career in this league, especially from beyond the arc. So it's going to be very impressive what him and the Hornets can continue to do. But now I want to talk about some of the top contenders for, of course, the MVP award. This has been an MVP race throughout this year that has been tighter than we've seen in a long time. I think for the last few years, it's kind of been pretty clear and obvious. You know, it's going to be Shea, it's going to be Giannis, it's going to be Jokic, whatever. This year, I think we have a nice, interesting mix of them. And right now, the MVP ladder is currently at 3. We have Nikola Jokic. At 2, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And at number 1, none other than Victor Wembanyama. So, guys, this has been a tight race. And we saw an incredible matchup recently between the Nuggets and Spurs going in an incredible game. And I think that kind of, just solidified what candidates these are, not just the players, but the teams as well as playoff contenders. But, guys, looking at the MVP race as a whole, who do you think takes this?
I have to go Jokic. I know it's the bottom of the race. But I honestly think Wembley doesn't get it just because his defense is very good. His offense is just the weakest of the 3 in all of defense. It's just not up there compared with the other ones. And Shea is good. He is really good. His offense just isn't what Jokic is. And in Jokic's defense, he did win MVP in the 21-22 season and then 23-24 season, which means we got to come back around for the 25-26 season.
Every other year,
Every other year, he's got to come back is what I have to say.
All right. I mean, it's very interesting. And, to call Wemby and Shea's offensive games lacking
They're
is
not
crazy.
lacking. I didn't say lacking. I just said less than.
Jokic. And
it's just less than,
No, you didn't let me finish. It was just in comparison to Jokic. And it's, as crazy as it sounds, it's a fair point. Because what Jokic has done, not only from a scoring standpoint, but as a facilitator, I mean, this is a center consistently nearly averaging a triple-double. His rebounds, of course, are amazing, but the way he's able to dish out the ball, passing like a point guard, I call him a point center. And I think the same could be said about Victor Wembanyama. Maybe not quite as a facilitator, but as a defender. And to be able to, Wemby, he can shoot, he can pull up from anywhere. It's insane. And the future of the league is in very good hands. But at least for this year, Christian, who do you think takes MVP?
I think that sadly that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has won the war of attrition again. I think that they're going to look at the like last year with Jokic, a lot of people argue that Jokic should have won it last year too, and the people bring up these arguments because of voter fatigue. Like voter fatigue is very real.
Very real.
And SGA won it last year, and he had a slightly better year than he did last year. And when it comes to Jokic, I think that although Jokic probably is having the best year of his career when it comes to like looking up the numbers, like he's not scoring as many points as he did last year. He's averaging the best triple-double in terms of rebounds, assists. His defense is a little better this year than in years past. And I think that when it comes to Wemby, it's just an age thing. Like Luka, we could argue that Luka should have 1 or 2, but they were like, oh, his time will come. His time will come. We have to give it to Jokic this year. We have to give it to Embiid this year because his time will come. And I think that that's what's going to happen with Wemby. I think even you can make all the arguments in the world, and they're going to say, well, we have to give it to SGA, right? And that's what it's about. But I will say that the standings right now are very close. If the Spurs finish the 1 seed and the Thunder are the 2 seed, I wouldn't be surprised if Wemby really does win the MVP award.
Yeah, it's a great point. And talking about, waiting their turn, and Luka specifically, I found it kind of crazy that he dropped. He was averaging 37 points over the last couple weeks. And, of course, he's hurt now, so he's not going to end up winning MVP or anything. But just for him to drop in that race from 2 to 4, I thought was a little bit disrespectful. It's going to be crazy. But, guys, I think I'm going to go Shea as well. I think Wemby wins Defensive Player of the Year. Jokic, as good as he's been, I think there is some voter fatigue there. it's going to be a very wild race. And I think, truly, for it to come down to the last week, it's going to be really exciting. I'm going to go with Shea, but we'll have to see. It's going to be really cool to watch. But now we're going to talk about the WNBA, the expansion draft, and the upcoming rookie draft coming up next.